There's no disputing that Mercedes F1 Führer, Toto Wolff, is feeling some type of way about the departure of 8-time world champion Lewis Hamilton to long-standing rival Ferrari. When the seismic news of Sir Lewis's Mercedes exit first broke, Toto made diplomatic statements about bearing no grudges, having no doubts about Sir Lewis's integrity, and how their personal relationship would remain strong. Significantly, during all the diplomatic bump he spouted, Toto admitted that he didn't try to convince Sir Lewis to stay. However, barely 2 months and 5 races into a season that has already turned into a procession for Red Bull, who have been kind enough to provide us with some off-track entertainment in compensation, Toto Wolff has since changed his tune, and is now coming across as if the latest spike in his own name bitter medicine is too much for him to bear. In several videos available from our playlist, we have highlighted what a catastrophic error it was for Mercedes and Toto Wolff to let the person that he considers to be the best driver and most important personality in Formula One go off to Ferrari. We also highlighted how Toto betrayed Lewis in Abu Dhabi in 2021, and, since then has been steadily helping the FIA and Liberty Media to continue targeting him. We initially attributed Toto's betrayal to greed-induced sociopathy, because as a team owner, he stood to benefit from not having to pay Sir Lewis the remuneration that would have been due to a record-breaking 8-times champion. Toto, the team owner, would also benefit from not having to fund the expensive legal battle required to reclaim the stolen title. We have since discovered that Toto, who idolizes Michael Schumacher, has been doing everything he can behind the scenes to prevent Sir Lewis from breaking the only key record that Schumacher has left, and which he currently shares with Lewis. Well, in this video, we will carry on from where we left off, from the last video in our Forza Ferrari playlist, to explain the real reason why, despite his many proclamations dating back several years, Sir Lewis's departure to Ferrari has left Von Führer with the boosted bitter taste of his own medicine in his mouth, and it is clear to see this in his face. Since the 2021 betrayal, karma has been steadily increasing the concentration of Toto's bitter medicine. His devilish plan to ease Sir Lewis out of F1 by dropping the appeal, in the hope that the disillusioned driver would not return, failed. The drop in the performance of the Mercedes car in the following season may have been karma's first strike, but Toto could live with that, as it prevented Sir Lewis from winning an 8th title and provided another opportunity to ease him out. Indeed, Toto attempted to turn this to his advantage by reprising his assertions that he would understand if Sir Lewis left for Ferrari. Unfortunately for him, Sir Lewis, whose mind could not conceive such treachery, failed to take the bait, and opted instead to remain a loyal driver, happy to end his career at Mercedes. Karma intensified the concentration of Toto's bitter medicine when one of his co-plotters in the anti-Lewis conspiracy turned on him by opening an investigation into a possible conflict of interest between his wife working in a high-profile job in F1 and him being a team owner and principal. The fact that his wife's job was possibly part of the package for betraying Sir Lewis boosted the bitterness of the medicine. Karma again boosted the intensity of Toto's bitter medicine when his dastardly plan to push Sir Lewis out of F1 by offering him a lowball contract succeeded. However, the kick in the medicine was that Toto subsequently became aware of other developments at Ferrari, which suggested that they will be very competitive next season, and Sir Lewis therefore has a strong chance of extending the record that Toto is so desperate to preserve. This is the boost in Toto's eponymous bitter medicine, which has made the taste so grim that it shows on his face, and is causing him to spiral publicly. In addition to finding out that Ferrari could be strong competitor in 2025, thereby making Sir Lewis a genuine championship contender, Toto was able to see the boost in Ferrari's share price when the news broke. He was also able to see the boost in Ferrari's morale in the garage, which contrasted sharply with the dismal spirit in the Mercedes garage. Last but not least, he also witnessed the global outpouring of love and goodwill, at a level which no Formula One driver had ever enjoyed before.
Lewis, maybe Only Silverstone, maybe not even Silverstone, salutes you in this way. The crowd go wild for you. Man, what is this crowd like for you?
Oh, it's the best. It's honestly, they've been so supportive for so many years. Team LH China, they've just been incredible all these years. It's so great to be back. Of course, the British Grand Prix is special and unique as well, but this is they just always bring such great energy, and yeah, and I love this track. I really have enjoyed being.
Ouch. Under these circumstances, it is clear to see why Toto was unable to maintain the diplomatic stance that he had taken after accomplishing his long-held desire. The lowball contract that they offered to Sir Lewis, which amongst other issues, denied his wish to be a global brand ambassador, was intended to be the straw that broke the camel's back, coming on top of the theft of his 8th title, and continued harassment on and off track by his co-conspirators, the FIA and Liberty Media. It has since been revealed that Mercedes, who made Michael Schumacher, Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard brand ambassadors, declined to make Sir Lewis one. So, why is von Führer now salty about his move to Ferrari, who were happy to make him a brand ambassador? Mercedes were happy to make Michael Schumacher, whose glory years were enshrined at Ferrari, an ambassador, so why did they spurn the opportunity to make Sir Lewis, whose glory years were powered exclusively by Mercedes, a brand ambassador? Is it because Sir Lewis is British? If that was the case, why did Mercedes make David Coulthard a brand ambassador? Toto's primary desire to protect Michael's record at Lewis's expense was revealed when we tracked his digital footprints. We were able to transcribe the highly incriminating interviews he had granted in Deutsch to a predominantly pro-Michael audience, which the wider English-speaking audience did not have access to. Yes, people, those interviews hiding in plain sight revealed that Mercedes F1 Führer, Toto Wolff, is bitter about Sir Lewis's move, not because he went to Ferrari, but because he has escaped their plot to usher him out of F1 with a non-performing Mercedes, so that he cannot surpass the only remaining key record he shares with Michael. Von Führer made his first attempt at impeding Sir Lewis's trajectory, when in 2016, he allowed his Mercedes teammate, Nico Rosberg, to pull stunts in the garage and on track, designed to destabilize Sir Lewis, who had beaten him in 2 consecutive seasons, to become a 3-time world champion. In addition to honoring Rosberg's request to switch mechanics mid-season, Lewis's Mercedes suffered a series of mechanical failures which didn't befall his teammate.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Despite those engine failures, one of which robbed Sir Lewis of race victory, Rosberg was only barely able to win the title by 5 points, even though Lewis had more victories. Without the engine-related DNFs, Lewis would have won the 2016 title. Critically at the time, as the rivalry between Nico and Lewis became bitter, Toto represented himself to be the impartial boss who was prepared to read the riot act to the drivers, if the situation continued to deteriorate. However, the same Toto has since admitted that Nico was the vicious one who injected the bitterness into the rivalry. Well then, if Toto knew that, why did he indulge Nico's antics? Was it because Nico was a German and Lewis was a Brit? Or was it because he wanted to impede Sir Lewis's trajectory? Sir Lewis overcame the setback of 2016 to become a 7-time world champion in 2020. During that period, Toto had no problems accepting the plaudits for matching and exceeding Ferrari's consecutive world titles record, but when it came to the matter of Sir Lewis being greater than Michael Schumacher, suddenly, the stats were not enough to make such a determination, and in any event, no matter what the stats say, Michael will always be the greatest. Since 2019, Toto had publicly stated that he would understand if Lewis was tempted to move to Ferrari, but hoped the then 5-time world champion will finish his career winning more titles at Mercedes. Now, with everything that has gone on, it appears that this was Toto trying to encourage Lewis to go off to Ferrari, in the knowledge that Mercedes had the better car, and in the hope that he would not then be able to surpass Michael's 7 titles. As set out in greater detail in our last video, as the 2021 season moved to its epic climax, with Sir Lewis on the verge of a record-breaking 8th title, Toto continued to maintain that, as far as he was concerned, Michael would still be the greatest, even if Lewis succeeded. So, why is von Führer unwilling or unable to consider the possibility that Lewis is greater than Michael? Is it because Lewis is shorter? The evidence clearly suggests that Mercedes was so focused on not allowing any opportunity for Sir Lewis to be acknowledged as greater than Michael Schumacher, that they were happy to usher him out of Formula One before he could put the matter beyond debate even in Germany, and even while powered exclusively by Mercedes. Aside from repeatedly planting the seed for Lewis to leave Mercedes, von Führer has also openly campaigned for all agitation about the theft of his 8th title to end, and for Max Verstappen's illegal title to be publicly accepted. Why is von Führer doing this? Why is von Führer salty? After all, Sir Lewis is just a driver, and engineers have more value. We submit that Mercedes were so focused on dimming Sir Lewis's star, so that it did not eclipse Michael's on their watch, that they lost sight of his true value. Now that they can see what impact Sir Lewis's move to Ferrari is having on Ferrari's share price, garage, tifosi, and the wider public, they have finally realized that perhaps, just perhaps, they effed up. And that, people, is one heck of a bitter medicine to swallow.